Hi, you've reached another session of Level Up with Janet E. I'm going to tell you today that it's not over. What's not over? The year's not over. So the year is not over for you to do what you need to do in order to make 2022 a successful year for yourself. So I'm going to give you a few tips and always using the Bible on how you can make the rest of the year, even though we got 2 months left, make the rest of the year a profitable and purposeful one for you. All right, on the next level up. Stay tuned. Okay, so thank you for coming back to Level Up with Janet E. Today we are talking about it's not over. So what's not over? Your time left in 2022 to get done what you need to get done to have a purposeful year and a year that's going to stand out for you. All right, so that's just my computer. Don't worry about it. All right, so we are looking at a couple of things with time because time is so important. Time is one of those things that goes along with us fulfilling our purpose. Some people feel like they've run out of time and they're too old, or I have kids now, or I'm married, or it's just I'm tired. So there's a lot of things that contribute to us feeling like we've run out of time. So I know there's 2 months left in in the year of 2022. We have November and December going into the holidays. We know everything usually slows down a little bit, but that doesn't mean that you should slow down in your purpose and your plan for what God has you to do in 2022. I know, sure enough, I'm not slowing down. I'm going to make sure that I continue to fulfill my purpose. And for me my personal goal is to complete my doctorate, which I hopefully will be doing by the end of this year. Knock on wood, whatever you want to do, pray to God. That's it. We gonna finish the end of this year. So maybe a couple months into next year, but it's going to be mostly finished by the end of this year, and that's something that I'm claiming. All right, so I wanted to go into a couple of Bible verses. You know me, I'm always going to go to the Bible as our foundation for what we're going to talk about. So once again, we're talking about that it's not over for you. There is a time for everything, and there's a time for you too to fulfill your purpose. So we talk about in Ecclesiastics, and this is Ecclesiastes 3. We could start anywhere in the verses, but I'm going to start at verse 8, where it says, "There's a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. There's a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing." So God is putting into our spirits, into our hearts, into our minds that there's a time for everything. There's a time for you to prepare for your purpose, and there's a time for you to now fulfill your purpose. So He's giving you that time in order to not waste it, but to make good use of it. So even though we may feel like we don't have a lot more time in this year, it's getting into the holidays, it's going to be rough to kind of carve out time for yourself. Make sure that you are carving out time for yourself, but not just for yourself to just do nothing and just relax, but work on and meditate on, with the help of God obviously, what you would like to see come through by the end of 2022. God, what do you have for me to do in order to make sure that I'm using my time purposefully and purposely for you in order to fulfill my purpose for 2022? Because God is the author and finisher of our works. He also is the controller of time. So He can control anything. Something could come through in the last day of the year, December 31st, that you thought would never come through for the year. So understand that God has control of it. So He's going to not only give you that time in order to fulfill your purpose, but He can quicken the time that you normally would think that it would take in order to have that purpose done. All right, so there's one more verse I want to look at that talks about time, and It's one of the verses that I lean on when I'm looking at having a project or a plan done or something, a goal done in my life, and I'm like, is taking a little longer than normal, or it's just not going the way that I want it to. The journey is a little bit longer than I thought it would be. So it says, humble yourselves therefore into the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. So know that your time is coming. So you have to, but before you're exalted, you have to humble yourself. So you have to press in to what God wants you to do. You have to focus on what he wants you to do and his word. Humble yourselves into the mighty hand of God, and then he's going to exalt you. And in my own personal thing, exalting means that he's going to give you the desires of your heart, or give you, put you to that level that you want to be, and that he wants you to be in due time. So you have to now, first of all, commit yourself, humble yourself, and then he's going to exalt you. So that is a two-step process. It doesn't just come around and happen. You have to prepare, you have to humble yourself, and then you have to be expecting that you're going to see a harvest from it, because God said there's a time to reap and there's a time to sow. So there's a time for everything, and there's going to be a time that you're going to be exalted. You're going to have your goals and purposes fulfilled, and God's going to help you all through that journey. So I want you to stay focused in 2022, even though we only have 2 months left, 8 weeks, 7 weeks left. I want you to still stay focused on what you want to complete for 2022. And always trust in God and his will on what you have to do for this year. All right? Stay focused. I will see you in December, and as we round out the end of the year. I love you, my Level Up lovelies. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment to this important, valuable content, because I want to make sure that you continue to level up as I continue to level up as well. All right? God bless.